Hi and welcome to the Beer Temple. I am Chris Quinn coming to you from downstairs at the Beer Temple today with, I usually say, very interesting, very excited to get into this. I'm not going to say that this time because chili beers often not my thing. They can be a little much for me. I love spicy food. I like quite spicy food, but I usually pair it with a beer that's on the sweeter side. And I just think that the sweetness often kind of is a nice balance to the spice, where bitterness can often enhance spiciness. So sometimes when I see these pepper pale ales and stuff like that, they just don't really do it for me. So figured I'd kind of run the gambit here. Not sure I want to do this one, but we'll see. You'll get to see some punishment. Notice no water here. I'm just gonna go one all the way down, 1, 2, and 3, and see what happens. I don't even have a dump bucket, so if this is way too hot for me, I gotta finish it to get to this guy. This guy is going last. So what do we have? 3 chili beers. Chili's just another adjunct that people have been adding to beers for quite a while. There used to be, a Mexican lager that was made, back in the 90s or something that had a pepper in it. Maybe it still exists. A lot of the spiced stouts are very popular right now. I had a Serrano Bourbon County that I thought was very nice, although quite hot. But that beer has tons and tons of sweetness to kind of back it up. These beers, not quite as much. So the first one is Birdsong Brewing Co. It's their Jalapeno Pale Ale. They say that they used de-seeded jalapenos in their pale. And then you get the flavor of the chili without the heat. So we'll see if that is the case. So this is another North Carolina brewery. This is from Charlotte. I think we had some Asheville, North Carolina beers on before. And let's take a look at this Birdsong. So fairly cloudy golden beer. A little bit of head there, kind of a murky color. And right off the bat, the jalapeno jumps out at you. I've had beers in the past where it kind of has like a pickled jalapeno. I think we did a beer in the past from Evil Twin that was called, oh, it wasn't Joey Pepper, but it was something. And it had a really kind of pickled jalapeno thing. What's going on? Do you need me for something? It's okay.
Magnums?
In Magnums?
Yeah.
No.
That's what I figured as much.
Thank you, Steven. No, I did not order magnums of Saison DuPont randomly, but anyway. So I hadn't. See, it's got me off my game. These bad deliveries, these ordering mistakes, delivery mistakes, not an ordering mistake. I ordered the right beer. So Evil Twin had a beer that was called nachos, spicy nacho, and it had, I believe, pickled jalapeno, because it tasted just like those pickled jalapenos, and kind of the graininess of the malt bill kind of gave it a corny flavor, and I thought it was a decent take on that style. This fresh chopped jalapenos. Underneath that, there is a bit of a malt character. I'm almost getting like a hint of like a white chocolate thing. I don't know why. I don't know if that's the light grain and the pepper kind of combining to confuse me or something. But there is certainly some kind of nice base peppery, toasty, bready malt here. Let's see. I'm letting the heat kind of see if it sets in. It's exactly what they say. The pepper is actually much more on the aroma than it is on the flavor. It's kind of a nice, mild, green, vegetal flavor. Not necessarily in a bad way here. Certainly the dominating flavor, but not as much in dominance of the overall profile as it was on aroma. So you are certainly getting some malt, getting a little bit of bitterness as well. So you're getting those pale ale traits. You know, really kind of a fine beer. If you really like some of those flavors, I think this would be a very nice one to go through. And you could easily drink a couple cans of this. I mean, it's really not going to fatigue your palate too much. It just becomes a matter of, do you want to taste jalapeno beer that much? Very cool. Well, there you go. The Birdsong Brewing Co. succeeded exactly in doing what they set out to do, which is always commendable. Next, those of you who have been watching this show for a while know that I very much love the Habanero, the Sculpin, I should say, from Ballast Point. And I've put it side by side with Heady Topper and Pliny the Elder in the past, several times. I think with Pliny, I think when it's at its best, this beer can stand toe-to-toe with any IPA out there. They make several variants of this beer, the two most popular being the Grapefruit Sculpin and the Habanero Sculpin. I've not had Habanero in quite a while. It varies in intensity of heat very much from batch to batch. I talked to some people at Ballast Point about this, and it's because the peppers themselves vary in their heat level. The heat comes from the capsaicin in the pepper, and the capsaicin levels vary in the raw vegetable, or fruit, I guess technically it is. So I think they're trying to find out ways to measure the capsaicin level in the peppers before they brew with them, so then they can adjust the beer to make it the same every single time. I have not heard that that has happened yet, so this could be a mild batch, it could be a blow your head off batch. We shall see. Sculpin is a, I believe, 7%. Yeah, it even says, wow, it even says on the label, heat may vary. That's cool. 7% West Coast style IPA, very tropical, quite bitter. So here we're going to start getting, you know, this heat, and you want something to help tame that heat, but instead, you know, you go for another drink and it has bitterness and it kind of just enhances it. So definitely a sweeter pepper, and the hops, the aromatic hops are coming through. This has a wonderful, wonderful smell to it. It really does smell like habanero, like nice, fresh habanero salsa, which I do like quite a bit. I mean, where this has that kind of vegetal smell, this has like a sting. It's like starting to like little needles pricking your nose, like it's telling you, like, be careful. Almost like a sculpin itself, you know, this like kind of spiny fish here. I mean, the smell is absolutely wonderful. It is just a perfect amount of that great tropical pineapple flavor or aroma, and a little bit of that sweet pepper thing that you get on habanero sometimes, and a little bit of that like just prick in the nose. All right, let's see. Spicy. I mean, already the moment that the liquid was out of my mouth, the spice kicked in, and you know it's only going to continue to grow. There's bitterness as well, certainly bitterness as well, which will enhance that flavor, or if it doesn't enhance it, it certainly gives you no respite. It doesn't help, you know, kind of quench that flame at all. So, you know, you're, ooh, hot, I need another sip, and it enhances it. I am using my new branded glassware, which we got for our anniversary party. There is still some available. I'll probably throw some online. People have been asking about these glasses, and I've got really cool pint Willy Beckers as well. That's my little plug for today. Really great beer. I don't know if I could drink more than one bottle at a time, or even if I could enjoy 12 ounces at a time without some food. And I would want something savory or on the sweet side with this. So, yeah, interesting. All right. now we'll move to this one. So they came out with a couple, Stone came out with a couple oaked versions of their Bastard series. Their Bastard is their very aggressive, strong ale. Very bitter, very hoppy, also quite malty. And they had Crime and Punishment. Punishment was the hotter of the two, but Crime, which is the only one that I've had, was really darn hot. So I'm already have a nice base fire going here. So this was their double Bastard ale. Let's see. I'm just trying to see what jaw-dropping quantities of jalapeno, ultra hot black Nagas, Caribbean Red Hots, Moruga Scorpion, and Fatalis. Moruga Scorpions and Fatalis, it morphed into a truly punishing brew. It's aged in bourbon barrels. It was bottled October 2013, so we're coming up on almost 2 years old now. I don't know if the heat will necessarily dissipate. I don't think that capsaicin is necessarily volatile and will break down, but I guess we can find out. If I can get the thing open. Here we are. All right. You can tell I'm a little nervous, so hopefully I won't cry like a baby on camera. A little bit of a gusher. And really cool cork and cage. I think these are 500 ml bottles. 12% alcohol and quite a bit of bitterness as well. Now that bitterness will calm down, and maybe that will help where as the malt sweetness comes through, it'll help kind of balance some of that heat. But let's see. Oh man, there are chunks floating in this guy. Big chunks. This is an amber, like kind of murky amber. Even the head is a little like yellow, tannish yellow tint to it. Doesn't smell necessarily bad. There's a lot going on. Barrel and pepper is the first thing I notice. A lot of malt as well. The pepper is, I'd say, closer to the habanero side. It doesn't have that big green jalapeno thing, but it's certainly a little bit more vegetal than that like subtle like hint of heat and that sweet kind of pepper thing. Again, I don't know, I'm getting this weird, almost like cocoa thing going on. And yeah, just like kind of nicely toasted bread. Smells fine. Not getting a lot of aroma hops. All right. Starts out, you get a lot more malt sweetness, slower burn. I can feel it growing right now. It's hot. It's definitely hotter than this. I don't know how much of it has subsided. In my mouth right now, I'm getting a little sweet malt, like a caramel hint, like a toasted caramel, and then a lot of spice. I mean, my mouth is absolutely full of spice. It's not necessarily, I just took a sip, you know, I took about an ounce of it. That's not crushing. You know, if you chugged a whole bunch of it, I bet you, you know, you'd start to sweat. Or I do anyway. I start to sweat and stuff like that. People are talking about this as like the worst beer ever bottled. I certainly don't think it is. I mean, it's called Punishment. You have to know what you're getting into. How much of this do I want to drink? I mean, without food, not much. But you know, it's a very, very hot beer with a little bit of pepper flavor. The pepper flavor is almost like a super intensified black pepper. So it's got that like just dark spice note to it. It doesn't have like a lot of fruity, like this is a much fruitier, and I think the hops lend to that as well, spice. This is like a dark roasted spice, like blackened, spicy, like almost like a Cajun spice rub type thing is what I'm getting from this actually. So there you have it. I'll say it's a decent beer, guys. I mean, you have to know what you're getting into, and if you know you're getting into double bastard with tons and tons of hot peppers, there you go. So, you know, it isn't one of those, you know, mega atomic challenge-worthy hot wings that they do at restaurants just to make you kind of barf and cry and stuff like that. But it's really hot, and if you don't like spicy food, you're not going to like it. That doesn't mean if you don't not like spicy food, you're going to like. You have to like spicy food to like this beer. So, yeah, in fact, it'd be cool with some kind of Cajun food. You need to have something sweet there, or at least savory, very fatty or sweet as well with this beer. There you have it. 3 spicy beers. I'd say my favorite is absolutely the Habanero Sculpin. I think it's the... they were very much in a good order. Beer is quite delicious. So there you have it, guys. Thanks as always, and thanks of you who have been watching the new podcast or listening to the new podcast, the Insiders Roundtable. Keep up all the love, guys. I have to say it's just been such a great outpouring. Sorry about the last show that had my head cropped off. Hopefully the cropping is okay on this one. And that's about it. If you have any questions, shoot me an email at info@craftbeertemple.com. You can also leave ratings and reviews on iTunes. That is always very much appreciated. Or just leave a comment on craftbeertemple.com. That's my favorite way to interact with you guys. And everyone else can kind of join the fun that way as well. Until next time, guys, I've got some spicy-ass beers to drink. And if you love spicy food, then hopefully you do too. Cheers.